Good afternoon, everyone. It is 2 o'clock. We will wait a couple more minutes to start our webinar here. We thank you so much for joining us today. Our topic is going to be 5 either state or federal regulations that LifeShare can help you address in your community. So, like I said, we will wait about 1 or 2 more minutes to see if we have any more people hopping on to join us. So we want to be cognizant of your time and we want to get started as soon as possible. So we will wait about 2 more minutes. My name is Callie Wright, and I am part of the client experience team here at LifeShare. And with me, I also have Kim Hartnett, and she will be manning the chat as well. So if you have any questions, go ahead and pull up that chat box and make sure that you type your questions in there so that we make sure we answer any questions we possibly can for you. All right, once again, thank you so much for joining us today for this LifeShare learning series about 5 state and federal regulations that LifeShare can help you address. Like I said, my name is Callie Wright, and I have Kim Hartnett here with me helping to answer your questions today. So, as I said before, feel free to use the chat box to ask any questions as we are kind of going through everything today. So just a quick overview of the 5 different state and federal regulations that we're going to kind of address. And what we've done is we've kind of lumped them into groups or topics that we will address each of them individually. So we have meals, and I've listed out the regulations there for you. I know you probably don't have all the different regulations memorized, but there are some federal and some state ones for Indiana on here. I have noted that, like, on activities, that some states do mandate that you have a posted calendar. And then there's also the National Center for Assisted Living. They have some guiding principles as well that address different areas such as staff on duty. So this is kind of more of a resource slide for you. We do record these webinars for you so that we can share them with you. You can review them, and we do send you the PDF of our slideshow as well, so you can look back through them and see if any of these regulations apply to you. So let's go into the meals area, and one of the quotes that we had from the meals area is 3 well-planned and attractive meals 7 days a week. So as far as that goes, how LifeShare can help you address this is the meal slides that you can put in your slideshow. You can also upload photos to your meal slides. So after your meal shows, the picture of the meal would slide in afterwards. This kind of hits that attractive meal. If you have a director of dining services that is really involved, this is a great project for them to take on, is to take pictures of some of the more popular meals to have them kind of entice the appetites. They can even record little short videos that you can put in your slideshow about, you know, doing like an introduction to a special meal that you will be having that week. So that's what I was talking about with the chef preview videos. Okay, you can also put on alternative menus. You may not just have one menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can put in slides for alternative menus. Maybe you have a different bistro menu. Maybe you have a snack menu, any kinds of things, or an anytime menu. You can put those in as well. It doesn't have to just be limited to your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, any questions about meals before we move on to activities? All right, so some of the highlights from the activities area are they meet that your community is meeting the interests and physical, mental, and psychosocial well-being. It's appropriate to abilities and interests, and that you have posted updated calendars. Those are the most important things with that. So Ways that you can address that using LifeShare, obviously we have the activity slides. What's key about that is that it does have live updates. So you update an activity in the system, it will automatically update to your screens because our devices do check in every 2 minutes to receive any changes or updated information. So it is a live update, which is very nice when you have your state surveys coming through and they want to know that it is the most up-to-date information that is out there. So one way that we can help you with that is our live updates that appear in the slideshow. You just have to manage it. And the cool thing about our system is that you can manage from your phone. So if you're not able to get back to your desk, you can use your phone to manage your system and make any changes to activities or even announce any changes that you have on an announcement slide. We do have printable monthly, weekly, and daily calendars. Now, I know that some states have specific regulations on font size and things like that. That's something that you can address with us on a one-on-one basis. So if there are things that you need to have on your calendar in order to be in compliance, some people may have to have a disclaimer at the bottom, just address those with us personally. You can contact us at support@lifesharetech.com. What you also can have through LifeShare is unit-based calendar. So you're not just having all your activities for all the units on one calendar. You can have a calendar that is specific to memory care, and that would meet the physical, mental, and well-being interests of that specific unit of residents. You may have an assisted living calendar that will adhere to their needs. And then you may have an independent living or villa calendar that might be a completely different set of needs. And the last thing that you can add to your calendars with LifeShare are activity types. So if you have regulations on the different types of dimensions of wellness and how many you have to have of a certain dimension per week, per month, you can track that using the activity types. You can either print them on the monthly calendars or you can just have them tracking within the system and hide them from the printed calendars. So activity types is something that we can build personally for you. We know that not every network uses the same description for their dimension of wellness, so that's something that we can cater to your community. If you have questions about activities and how we can help with the regulations that involve activities, please go ahead and put those in the chat box. We'll go ahead and move on to transportation.
We do have one quick question first. Does it cost extra to add activity types?
At this point in time, it does not cost any extra for us to add activity types for your community. So if that's something that you're interested in, you just have to let our support team know and we'd be happy to work with you to get the activity type set up for your community. You can pick the color, you can pick the abbreviation, and even the label that goes on the larger key code for it. Okay. We'll go ahead and move on to transportation. So the key phrase that we're going to be addressing is provide and coordinate scheduled transportation to community-based events. So one way that we can help you address that is that we can do a calendar only unit that is for transportation. So a transportation calendar where you can log that you need a bus for a certain thing. You can put on medical appointments. Obviously with HIPAA, you're not going to spell out the whole name for the medical appointments. You can put abbreviations, anything like that, but you can have a calendar that's designated to letting you know that you need use of the bus at that time. So as you're adding your other activities, if you know for that activity you're going to need use of the bus or the community car, then you can check that it's going to go on the transportation calendar as well as on the activity calendar. You can also put transportation notices if there are changes where you have to make a cancellation because something has happened to the bus, or maybe you're having a different mode of transportation. You can put those notices up on the screens. Okay. If you have any questions about transportation before we move on to the staff on duty, go ahead and put it in the chat box. If any of you know Miles, you'll see his picture there on the manager on duty slide. We had a request for us to go back to the transportation slide. So we're just gonna take a look at that. The transportation calendar is an additional cost. Just so you know, it would be the cost of a calendaring only unit. You wouldn't be paying for the extra community share, just the access to be able to create and make those calendars. Okay, staff on duty. So the language that kind of goes along with this regulation is that there's staff sufficient in numbers to meet 24-hour scheduled and unscheduled care. So a lot of times when you're on off-peak hours, maybe it's weekends or nights, you may have a designated manager on duty that people need to contact. They may even have a cell phone for specific emergencies. You can list their phone number on this slide as well. This is one of the 2 slides where we have the text and the photo showing together for you. So you can have text and the photo is slides in and they show simultaneously. So they can have a picture that shows them who exactly the identifiable manager on duty is. And like I said, you can add the name, you can add what their title is, and you can even add their phone number in there. You can just enter to a different line for each different piece of information. We do have a help doc on our website. If you go to lifesharetech.com and go up to the support area and go to staff support, we have a help doc labeled manager on duty, and it walks you through exactly how to set this slide up step by step. If you have any questions about the manager or staff on duty slide, go ahead and put them into the chat box for us. Okay, the next area is employee training, and the language that goes along with that regulation is orientation training, continuing in service, and training programs. So one of the things that we offer here at LifeShare and kind of encourage communities to do is to put a community share in their employee break room. So that is one of the benefits of having that, is so that you can share employee specific information on there. It can be announcements about upcoming trainings. It can be, you can have dates, like save the date kind of things on there for them, as far as to save the date for those employee trainings. Okay. You can also have videos on demand. In addition to being able to show short videos in the slideshow, maybe in your employee break room you have the bloodborne pathogens training that is on demand. So it's not showing in the slideshow, but if you do have a new employee or an employee that needs to go back and have that training again, they can access that on demand. So remember that you access on demand by exiting the slideshow, pressing that black LS button on your remote, going to that main home screen, navigating to the videos channel, and you'll be able to access any videos you've hidden from the slideshow, but that you have entered into the system. So those are great ways to be able to provide employee training. So you don't have to start and stop different videos. The employee can go into the employee break room and start that themselves.
I have a question. Does the employee community share cost extra?
Yes, so it's just the additional cost of a device on a monthly basis based on your contract. So the more devices that you have in a community, the better price break that you get on community shares. So if this is something that you're looking into, we can give you a ballpark figure as to how much it would cost as an additional cost for your community. But the positive is, if you do have one that is assigned to your employee break room, you can also customize a mobile access pin that is specific to staff. so that they may get the information that they need from the employee break room. So you would see the announcements, you'd see the calendar and activities and things like that that are specific to employees. We do have a client that puts on like insurance information, any benefits of being an employee, continuing education things, all on their employee break room community share. So there is a question about the calendars and being able to print them off the site or printed on quality paper. We are actually not in the printing business. We create links that you are able to put on your website, but when you open those links, you are able to download it as a PDF and print it yourself. But we do have a number of customers in communities that work with local print shops to be able to print those calendars. All you have to do is provide them the link of your published calendar, and they're able to publish that or print that for you and in the sizing that you want. We have communities that use various different sizes due to state regulations. Some have to have bigger size paper in their activity rooms posted, so they work with the print shop to be able to get the sizing that they need. If you need any recommendations, we do work with a printing company with one of our communities, so we can recommend that name to you, but you can also go to your local Staples. Okay, great question though. Okay, and then these aren't the 5 regulations that we were focusing on, but there are some other announcement slides that can help you with regulations. And I actually took some screenshots from one of our communities because they have these specific slides in their community share slideshow. The first one is the location of the most recent state survey results. You may have to post where that location is, and what a better way to announce that than in your community share slideshow that people will be seeing as they come into the community. There's the specific regulation. The other one is phone numbers for social services or ombudsman. So that's one of the things that you can also have in your slideshow. So you can say that the ombudsman's number is this is the person, this is the contact, that kind of information. Some additional resources that LifeShare has to help with regulations are that residents have the right to participate in religious services that do not interfere with the rights of others. One of those things that comes to mind is religion. We do have access on demand to faith programs. We have Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, Islamic, Jewish, and general spirituality. So if they have a faith that they practice that maybe your local community can't help support, this is a great way to give them access to those kind of prayers, meditations, scriptures, anything like that. That is all involved in our faith programming, and that is actually included in the cost of your community share. If you haven't checked out those on-demand resources, the games, the news, the faith, podcasts, I do encourage you to check those out because you might find some activities that would be of interest to your residents. Now, I want your help. Do you have any other regulations, maybe specific to your state or one that you are aware of that is a federal regulation that you need help addressing? We'd love to know about those regulations so that we can help you address those with our products and help you problem solve and make your job a lot easier. Okay, when we send you this, we do have some resources available to you to help you with some of the things that we talked about. Our community share user guide is a resource. It just tells you how to enter different types of information into your slideshow. We do have the direct link to the manager of the day slide. It looks something like this. Okay. We also have the LifeShare Games Guide. So if you have residents that have high interest in games, this is something that for you to check out and print. And then we also have a vlog that we do. It's the short little videos, and it explains activity types for you. We are happy to address any other things that you have questions about today. But before we end our time together, we do want to say thank you, and we do want to let you know about our next webinar that's going to be taking place on September 10th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And the topic is benefits of using the community share in your employee break room. So that's one of the things that we talked about and kind of hinted at today. As to some of the benefits as far as state regulations with training for your employees by using an employee break room, but you're going to get a chance to see some of the other benefits of using a community share in your employee break room. So you, as a participant in this webinar, will receive an email to be able to sign up for the next webinar. So those will be sent to you, and you are able to opt in. So mark your calendars. Also, if you receive our newsletter, you will see the links in there as well on next month's newsletter to be able to sign up for the September webinar. So we need your help as we start to fill out our webinar calendar. If there are other topics that you would like to see featured on our monthly webinars, go ahead and type them in the group chat box. We love your suggestions, and we want to make sure that we are hitting your interests. As always, here's our contact information. You can reach us at support@lifesharetech.com. Our phone number is there as well, 317-825-0320 extension 1. I do encourage all of you to follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you missed the recent announcement, we are a Spectrio business, and we do encourage you to follow them as well. They have some great solutions that your communities may be interested in as far as scent marketing, on-hold messaging, and music. So if those are some things that you're interested, let us know. We're happy to explain those products to you, but we do encourage you to follow them on social media as well. Thank you so much for your time today. We really do appreciate you. We will hang around for the next couple minutes and answer any questions that you may have. It can be about the state regulations topic, or it can be about any other topics that you may have questions about. But thank you again for your time. We really do appreciate you joining us today. We will send you a copy of this slideshow so that you can have it, and we have recorded it, so if that's something you're interested in, please just let us know.